Is that it? What happened to all of the pillaging and doing in of people's legs? Meow, 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 meow. Hounds. I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you today whilst my minion does all of the opening. But if there are no good pulls, then that'll make Professor Evil angry. And when Professor Evil gets angry, people get punked. I do only have these packs to open today, but that's not because there wasn't anything available on release day or that there were swarms of people buying everything in sight. There were next to no Pokemon hunters out on release day. Seriously. I only have these packs because this is what they had in stock on release day. Blister packs and sleeve boosters. ETBs and booster bundles were delayed, so they came out a few days later. But basically everything was available for pre-order a few weeks prior to release anyway. I did miss out on most of the better priced pre-orders. I don't think I pre-ordered anything for Destined Rivals. Like, I just didn't even know they were happening. But there were other opportunities to buy booster boxes for around 330 Australian dollars. And all the way up until release day, there were booster boxes for 400 Australian dollars available from a pretty well-known game store. I just chose to pass because of the enormous price increase since the Journey Together set release, and Journey Together was already way more expensive than other sets had been prior to release. I actually had a good time looking for Destined Rivals on release day. I went to Kmart at 7 AM, which is when they open, and there were 2 other people waiting. That's where I got the 3-pack blisters from. And I got the sleeve booster packs from Big W a few days later when the ETBs and booster bundles and things came out. Murkrow, first pack, first pull. Not bad, minion, keep it up, eh? When I looked at the cards in this set, I didn't really think much of Murkrow, but I do say it looks pretty good in person. And I did get some Surging Spark stuff as well, which is for another video. Maybe it's because of the slightly staggered release of products that people didn't seem to be a rush to get the sleeve boosters and blister packs on release day. I don't really know, but I did go check out a few stores a few days later when the ETBs came out, and there was more stuff left over after the initial rush in the morning or whatever than I was expecting. I love it. I love my Mastiff. What a good boy. I mean, I actually didn't think there would be anything by the time I got there. Mr. Toys still had ETBs, they still had booster bundles and 3-pack blisters and loose booster packs. And Target had ETBs and booster bundles. I didn't even line up or get there before the store opened. I just turned up a little after 9 AM. I had a few other things to do and I was just there anyway and thought I'd check it out. I didn't even buy anything other than another 3-pack blister, which I opened straight away. I couldn't wait until I made this video, but I got nothing out of it anyway. Maybe it's because of the strict purchase limits, but I've seen Destined Rivals sleeve booster packs quite regularly at stores, and it's been 2 or 3 weeks now. I've had some problems with my mic and other recording equipment, but yeah, I've seen them consistently at Big W and often Target as well. There were also more pre-orders on release day for the restock of Destined Rivals. I did pre-order a booster box, but I'm seriously considering canceling it. Tell me what you think. I need your opinion. The booster box will cost 325 Australian dollars, which is about 210 US dollars. Is that absurd? I don't feel good about it, to be honest, but the recommended retail price here is 306 Australian dollars for a booster box. So that's like 200 US dollars. So I'm wondering if I could realistically expect to get one any cheaper than that anyway. Tell me, should I cancel it? If I do cancel it, what should I spend $325 on? It has to be something for the channel. Cynthia's Garchomp is the second most expensive card in the set, which is around 200 US dollars, but that's probably not gonna make the most interesting content. What would you like to see me spend the money on? If I got the booster box, I would open it here on the channel, but probably not for a while because I'm thinking about doing a Scarlet and Violet retrospective series of openings. So I would probably save it for that after the Scarlet and Violet era is over. I also wouldn't actually get the booster box probably until like the end of the year. Otherwise, I could spend it on something totally random and fun to watch. Okay, I looked on Reddit to see what other people would do with 300 Australian dollars. There's all kinds of stuff, as you'd imagine, but a lot of people said that they would spend it on an Airbnb. Ah, yes. This is what $300 gets you in Australia on an Airbnb. Tents. And an outdoor toilet. And if you thought this one looked better, I think you'd be mistaken. I do actually think it would be fun to do more vlog style, maybe like Pokemon hunts where I do take you guys around, maybe on my motorbike with me and do, I don't know, look for packs. I don't really have any idea at the moment, but yeah, I mean, I think it would be pretty cool for people to see what it's like here. I mean, I always like seeing the random places people go in the US or on other YouTube channels around the world. Yeah, let me know what you think. I could spend the money on other Pokemon stuff, of course, but you would have to let me know what you'd like to see me open. I mean, this card is okay. Just so you know, if you don't live in Australia or maybe you're new to Pokemon, $300 is not really a normal booster box price, even though that is the retail price here in Australia. About 6 months ago, I was regularly finding booster boxes for about 180 Australian dollars. So that's about 117 US dollars. Even as low as 160 Australian dollars, which is 104 US dollars sometimes. And stores selling them for around $250 were, in my opinion, at the time, charging way too much money, even though the recommended retail price at that time was somewhere around 280 Australian dollars for a booster box. This might be my Team Rocket dark side speaking, but these prices make me feel like it's the end for Pokemon cards. Not like a literal end to Pokemon cards. More like I'm just not sure how fun it will be to open Pokemon packs anymore, you know? I feel like the price of sealed products, even at retail price, which is kind of the best case scenario you can expect at the moment, is starting to overshadow the level of enjoyment that you can get out of opening packs. That's just my diabolical opinion anyway. Nice work, minion. Maybe I won't feed you to the hounds after all. I'm going to be so bold as to say that I think this set, along with Surging Sparks, could be the best regular sets in the Scarlet and Violet era. Closely followed by Temporal Forces for its banging SIRs and Paldea Evolve for its killer artwork along with generous pull rates. I know Black Bolt and White Flare is still to be released in English, but I think it's gonna be a nightmare to try get a hold of. I already missed all the pre-orders, so I'm screwed. And unless the pull rates are generous, is it really gonna be that fun? There are too many illustration rares. That's what I think. There are too many cards. I haven't been following the market too closely. Things are still expensive, but it looks like most of the Destined Rivals products are dropping quite a bit. Some of the singles have held, like Cynthia's Garchomp and Nidoking, but I really wonder where we'll be in a year looking back at this moment in the Pokemon timeline. I honestly can't even begin to predict where we'll be. I think things might get shaken up a little bit here in Australia just with the retail price increase. Like, it's super expensive even at retail price. I don't think there's a lot of room for prices to get higher at release, really. Not like before when stores were selling well below the recommended retail price, and the retail price was like 15% lower than it is now. The chase card values would have to be so much higher, and the cards themselves would have to be considered both highly desirable by most people and super rare. And then everything else is expensive as well, like food, energy, and housing, as I'm sure it is for everybody. I really do think a lot of people are buying less Pokemon cards, but I also think there's been changes in people's motives or reasons to buy Pokemon products that might have a lasting effect on the market. Content creators, for instance, want or need products to continue their channels, and there are so many people making businesses out of selling Pokemon cards, whether that's rip and ship or even scalpers. I mean, people do product flipping full time, so I'm sure plenty of scalpers consider what they do to be a business as well. I don't want to say that anyone in particular is at fault or anyone should be blamed. I just think that there's a partially irrevocable change in the environment, and that's very much connected to social media and the reach and influence of internet-based content. I made a video, Pokemon sells, but who's buying, that is exclusively about this and refers to similarities in the art market. So I'll link it at the end of this video. If you're interested, check it out. I do stand by this being a totally awesome set, but this is my honest opinion. Only rip packs if you get enjoyment out of it, regardless of the result, or if you somehow pick them up really cheap. The pull rates are consistent with other Scarlet and Violet era sets, but the financial cost is higher. And specific SIRs are actually a bit harder to pull than other Scarlet and Violet sets. I've passed on buying Pokemon cards a lot actually in recent weeks. There were a few months where there was basically no Pokemon cards around, but since Journey Together was released, there's been a lot more around, but at that higher price. And generally, I don't have the money to spare anymore, so I just have to pass. I think that's the position many other people are in. That's why I go on Team Rocket ransacking raids. I knew that would happen. I knew it would happen. Team Rocket always gets last pack magic. Most of the cards in this set are looking as though they may become relatively affordable to buy as singles though. So I really think singles are the way to go for the moment. Well, 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 Danny Phantump, if that is your real name. That Destined Rivals booster box should have been mine, not given to Mimikbrew. Din dins! I want chicken. I want liver. Wow mix, please deliver. It's over there. I said blow up the like and subscribe buttons. Ugh, do I have to do everything myself?